Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tipsy Ghosts. We are your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsay.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, I want to play a game.
Yes.
No, you have to ask it like a jigsaw.
That's exactly what I was going for. Did you know he doesn't really say, do you want to play a game?
Is that a Mandela effect?
It is. That's where I was going with
Damn
What
that.
does he say? I want to play a game?
I want to play a game, or
Okay.
let's play a game.
No.
I know.
Not true.
It's hurtful. How about, do you want to play a game?
I do.
Okay, this is one of those funny little, you take the last digit of your phone number, and then you do this. And
Yes.
This is going to tell you if you were in a saw trap, what would happen.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, my destiny.
You know, I've watched every Saw movie, and I think about how I would try and escape from each one of them.
Okay.
Every Saw movie?
I have seen them all too.
Saw
I am
movie.
impressed with both of you. I stopped watching after a while because I got tired of the franchise.
This is even weirder. I think I binged most of them in one day. Like,
Same.
how do you even watch more than one in a day?
I watched, there's 9, 8, 9,
I thought 9 or 10.
There's 10
Yeah.
because I remember there being a Saw X, which is 10.
Yes.
I'm concerned for
Thank
your
you.
mental health that you guys watched all of them in one day.
Oh, I mean,
That's
I
what I'm
watched it
saying.
over maybe 2 days, but that's basically what my brain does all the time. Worst case scenario. It just fed into it.
Yeah.
I still vividly remember going to see Saw 3 in theaters
Sure.
and like almost gagging during it. And I was
Oh
like,
my
I think I might be
God.
done. I was in high school, first off, with the judginess, okay? It's like
Oh my God.
18 years old. How dare you?
I mean, they do have some pretty shocking scenes in there.
Yes.
The one that I remember the most is the one that was an addict. That-
Yes, Into the Needles.
Yes, the film
Yes.
with
With the
needles.
razor blades that
yes.
you have to come down on. That's what I remember too.
Yes.
That must have been like something that resonates with everybody.
That and it was like a pig scene where they were like grinding up the pigs and like spilling it on them. That's what made me almost gag.
Well, here we go.
All right, sorry.
Lindsay, what is the last digit of your phone number?
3. It's just like your social. You got to say all of it.
No, you
in your
don't.
head. Yes, I do. When people ask for the last 4 of your social, do you not say the whole thing in your head?
No.
I do.
Number 3. You must eat your zodiac sign is a Libra, correct?
I'm a Libra, yeah.
Teeth.
I wish it was eyeballs. I really do.
How do I eat my teeth?
Eat your own teeth.
I
You
think
gotta pull them out and then you gotta swallow them.
Yeah. So the hard part's pulling them out.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
You can swallow anything.
Damn it, Jigsaw.
That's what she said.
Last digit of your birth year.
9.
Nine.
Oh my God.
I had to
Oh
do
my
it.
God.
Maybe this is like how my brain is different than yours. I have to say it all in my head first.
That's okay. You have to crawl through a room of barbed wire.
That's a rough one.
Okay. I mean,
That's a rough
You
one.
can do it.
Without teeth. That's a rough one.
what do you need your teeth for with barbed wire? You must
Gonna
have
chew
teeth.
through the wire.
Not anymore. You're just going to gum
Not
it.
anymore. I can't. That got taken away from me.
Okay, here's an
I don't even
idea.
have the option.
You take the barbs off and you put them as your teeth.
Like braces. What are they going to attach to?
I don't know.
My gums.
You could regurgitate them
I'll have some
and then
grills.
use your teeth. Grind through the wire.
I'll help you out.
This is great. Okay, crawling through the barbed wire. Army
No teeth.
style. Just gums.
Just gums.
But I don't have teeth.
And the reason why Jigsaw put you in the trap is
Yes.
because we got to start with the first letter of your last name, and that will be
W.
W. I got that
Good.
one.
Let me help.
because you hit somebody with your car.
Oh, I can see
That
that.
was mean of me.
Okay, but the thing is, they can come out the other side. Maybe you can have dentures made of your exact teeth.
Yes. Yes. That is some willpower though, like to get over that mental hurdle to pull all your teeth out.
Yeah.
I think I could swallow them okay if they were already out, but
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
pulling them out.
The swallowing's the easy part.
It's the work that leads up to the swallowing.
None of that sounds good.
That is annoying.
All right.
Here's the golden question, though. Do you survive?
I think I would.
The answer is no.
Oh. The barbed wire gets me because the teeth ain't going to get me.
But you don't have teeth. How do you get through the
I'm
barbed
not going
wire?
to lose like a ton of blood, I don't think, from that. The barbed wire, it's going to get me. I'm just going to give up and say I'm done.
Scraped yourself to death.
I tapped myself out.
Do me.
This is too hard.
Okay. I need the last digit of your phone number, please.
7.
You got a Pierce.
Don't show off.
My what?
I need your zodiac sign, please.
Aries.
Eyeballs.
Oh,
Okay, like a
no.
fish hook.
No. Permission to take my headphones off for the
I
rest
could
of
for
this.
sure do that. That's not. We'll move on.
Last digit of your birth year.
9.
And crawl through a room of barbed wire.
Aw, you got you.
God.
You'll be together.
We're born the same year, so we do the barbed wire
Here's
together.
the thing, though. I don't have
But
eyeballs.
you're blind. You're blind, and my mouth is just a gummy mask.
I feel like I've got more of a disadvantage
You
than
can
your teeth.
speak, and I can see. So I'm saying
You won't be able to talk, though.
no, I can't. I'm just tapping her in Morse code.
Oh, thank goodness we had sound.
Well, I'm glad you guys can be together.
Wait, does
Do I
where she
survive?
live?
I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
tell you.
What happened?
The reason why you got into the trap. I need
Oh, yes.
first letter. I need it. First letter of your last name.
Right now, D.
Okay. Because you shoplifted from a Trader Joe's,
How dare you?
specifically.
You don't even go to Trader Joe's, do you?
We'll
I-
change it to Aldi.
Like twice a year, I go.
I don't go, so that was not a judgment
Sample their
thing.
wares.
We'll change it to Aldi, and it's because you went to the door
Aw.
too early.
Shoplifting in Aldi, that's low.
That seems like a very extreme punishment for what
No.
you did.
You went to the door too early. They weren't open, and they saw you on the video camera.
No, she is sitting in her car waiting until
No,
at least one other
every
person
single
goes
person in the parking lot saw me,
That's right.
and they
Yes.
turned me into Jigsaw. Said, "Look at this
in.
dumbass."
Her put fish hooks through her eyeballs.
The problem is that I talked to myself to like give myself a pep
Call
talk.
the
Like,
attention.
ooh, that was embarrassing. So I started talking to myself as I walked back to the car.
I remember.
Your punishment was warranted.
I feel like I've
I
already
hit-
been punished, but
I
that's
hit
okay.
someone with my car and you went to the door too early. It goes both ways.
Do you survive? The answer is no.
Yeah, no. My Morse
You don't
code wasn't
survive.
good enough.
You can survive without your eyes.
No, we're going to die together.
There
in the
must
barbed
be
wire.
something really fucked up with this barbed wire.
It's
room.
poison.
Okay.
Or maybe it's like Ghost Ship, where it just like
Mm.
snaps and gets everybody's head cut off.
It's like one of those. There was one Saw movie with the chains that kept winding. Maybe you get wound up in the barbed wire and it just.
Yeah. Barbed wire just by itself is just too lame for Jigsaw.
Unless
It's
you use it for teeth.
rusty and we are outdated on our tetanus shots.
Mm.
That's how
That
it
is
gets
slow
us.
and painful death.
It is. It doesn't say when we die.
That's true. Are you ready to hear mine?
I cannot wait.
The last digit of my phone number, also 7. I have to pierce something.
Oh, yep.
My zodiac sign.
Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio. My small intestine.
Ooh.
Ow.
Ow.
I feel like that's more painful than eyeballs.
But I feel like you could do it because you're a nurse and you know where your small intestine is. Me, I'd be like, I don't know where I'm going.
You gotta get through a lot of things to
That's
get to
true.
your small intestine. The last digit of my birth year is 2, so I'll have to do it while tied to the person that I hate most in the world.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Question, who is that?
First, I really don't know. I'll get back to you.
That is a hard question.
Yeah. First letter of my last name. It is H. So, because I'm an evil doctor.
I knew it.
That's why I'm there.
You're corrupt.
That's why I can pierce my own small intestine, because I
Yes,
know where
exactly. You know exactly what you're doing.
my birth month is November, so I survived. You're welcome.
How does she survive piercing her small intestine?
Because I'm a doctor.
It's
And
the
we
barbed
can't
wire.
survive the barbed wire.
That's our common theme, and that's why we don't survive.
I'm telling you, there's something.
All I did was pull out my teeth.
You're like, she
And
doesn't
swallow
deserve.
them.
And she is like, got something sticking out of her small intestine. She's like, yeah, I lived. What now?
I knew exactly
Wait,
where
why-
to poke.
Why did you do it, though? Oh, because you're a bad doctor. That's it.
Yeah, I'm an evil doctor.
Evil doctor.
in my
I feel like
small
she had the
intestine.
worst offense, and yet she lives.
Isn't that how it goes?
You probably killed people. She just went to the store too early.
I shoplifted.
You didn't say I killed someone. I could have just given them a love tap.
Okay, are you guys ready to hear a story?
Yes.
I have a smorgasbord story for you all tonight.
Smorgy, smorgy, smorg. Why don't you just commit to one note?
Smorg.
Shortened it.
Smorg.
Okay, here we go. Elizabeth Jane Cochran was born May 5th, 1864, in a small town in Pennsylvania. She was one of 14 children.
Ew.
Growing up, her nickname was Pink.
Why?
Great question. It's because she liked the color, and she always wore it.
I mean,
That's
that's
it.
kind of cute.
Not just
That's
on
it.
Wednesdays?
Always. All the time.
She was the
all
OG mean
days.
girl.
Yeah, but she was actually kind of a cool girl. She and her family lived in Cochran, Pennsylvania, named after her father, Judge Michael Cochran.
Okay, that was my question. I was like, her last name's Cochran.
Sadly, he passed away when Elizabeth was only 6 years old.
Oh.
Her mother remarried, but soon found out that the new husband was a violent drunk and would frequently abuse Elizabeth's mom.
That's terrible.
Indeed. Her mother decided that she'd finally had enough and filed for divorce.
She let the law take it from there.
My brain was in the same place.
At the trial, Elizabeth, who was just 14 years old at the time, had to testify in court about the terrible things that he had done to her mother. Everyone was impressed with her honesty and her ability to speak clearly about the issue. Because remember, at this time, women weren't really allowed to speak up for themselves or speak freely about abuse.
I was going to say, I feel like women were barely even allowed to divorce men at that point.
Yeah, you're right. Also at this time, women were expected to marry and make good wives to their husband. After this experience, she realized that marriage didn't always mean security or happiness. As a teen, she wanted to be seen as more sophisticated, so she changed her name by adding an E to her last name.
Cochrane.
I am sophisticated.
My last name is Cockring.
Yes, I get it. Yes. Okay.
Okay, if I did that, it would be Heine, and that is less sophisticated, I feel.
Mine would be pronounced the same.
Woody.
Woody.
It would just look like Old English would with the E on.
Woody.
It's a hard E. Okay.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
Because it's wood.
It was too sophisticated for you.
It was too sophisticated of a joke. You've got to be really intelligent to
It's a
get
highly
her
intelligent
humor.
joke. Thank you.
See? You're so highbrow.
See, that is a compliment.
In 1879, she enrolled at Indiana Normal School.
Don't want to go to the abnormal school.
That's right.
I get you.
How do you get into the normal school?
By being normal.
You have to apply.
And say, hello, I am normal. I added an E to the end of my last name.
I am clearly sophisticated.
Please reference this E.
It is
Do you
not
see the
Cochrane.
E?
It is Cochrane. My friends call me Pink.
She's not pink.
Oh no. These are...
No, she stopped going by pink now. She is sophisticated. There's an interview process at the normal school. They can really filter out.
Who's not?
She wanted to become a teacher.
Okay. I love that.
She was there for one term,
Okay.
but was forced to drop out because she ran out of money and her mother needed help at home.
Oh.
So she moved in with her mother and her siblings, and they moved to Pittsburgh. One morning in 1885, she reads a column titled, quote, "What Girls Are Good For."
Oh, I bet that was rich.
And this was written in the Pittsburgh Dispatch. The article basically stated that girls are only good for birthing children and keeping the house clean and in order.
No.
The writer even referred to working women as, quote, "a monstrosity."
Man, it feels like something that they would say in the late 1800s.
They did. I have a feeling they said it a lot in the late 1800s.
They would never say that in today's current climate.
Right.
No.
No.
Of course not.
Elizabeth, she just could not help herself. So she wrote a response under the pseudonym Lonely Orphan Girl.
With an E.
Girly.
Even though she's not an orphan.
She is not. The editor was so impressed with the response that he ran an advertisement asking the author to identify themselves so that he could offer them a job, basically. So
I am Elizabeth E. Cochrane.
Lonely Orphan Girly. It's not even that funny, but I'm having a good time with the E's. When she responded and introduced herself to him, he offered her an opportunity to write an article for the paper under the same pseudonym.
Lonely Orphan Girly.
Yes. She wrote her first article titled, quote, "The Girl Puzzle." And this, she argued that not all women would marry and that there should be better jobs available to women, which, good job.
Good for you.
Her second article, titled Mad Marriages, was how divorce affected women and argued for reform of divorce laws.
She's very progressive for her time.
Very much so.
How old is she at this point?
18.
I was going to say, she
Okay.
went to college for a semester, so at least that.
One term. One termy.
This time, she didn't sign under the name Lonely Orphan Girl, but instead used the name that she was then known for, which was Nellie Bly. The name Nellie Bly was chosen for her by her editor after a song titled Nellie Bly by Stephen Foster.
Why do I know this name?
I know this name as well.
And here again, it's spelled slightly different than the song title. The song was spelled with a Y, and her editor spelled it with an I-E.
Blaine.
It's the E's. It's a sign.
It's a sign of sophistication.
So the IE stuck, and that is what she's known for from here on out.
Okay.
The editor was very impressed by her writing again, and this time he offered her a full-time job. So Nellie focused most of her work, or her early work, on the lives of working women. She wrote a series of investigative articles on female factory workers. She went undercover as a factory worker and wrote an expose on the poor conditions that women faced while hardly making any money to try and feed their family. And as you can imagine, this type of writing was pretty controversial at the time.
Expose is a good word for people who like the word E.
Right. Because you're exposing them, but like fancy.
Hey.
It's like,
Expose.
I'm going to expose you in an expose.
But fancily.
In
Sophisticated.
in a sophisticated manner.
So the factory owners and the advertisement companies, they complained about her articles. Basically, she was reassigned to cover fashion, society, gardening, anything that women were typically assigned to at that time.
Birthing children.
Basically. Nellie then moved to New York City in 1887 by herself. No job, no plan, and just a hope and a dream. T's and P's.
That sounds like why most people move to New York City.
After 4 months, the New York World offered to let her try out an assignment. Her first assignment turned into arguably one of her most important. She was assigned to go undercover at the Women's Lunatic Asylum on Blackwell's Island. She really didn't have any guidance on how to get in or out of the asylum, but was told, quote, write up things as you find them, good or bad, give praise and blame as you think best, and the truth all the time. And she took this very seriously. She spent days practicing different facial expressions and mannerisms that she felt would convince others that she was insane just to get inside the asylum. She spent one night at a boarding house and pretended to be afraid of everything in it and then staring blankly at the wall for hours. She was sent to the hospital because they thought she was losing her mind. And there she was analyzed by different doctors.
She had hysteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nellie claimed to have amnesia. Her story caught the media's attention, but nobody recognized her as a journalist at this time, which was perfect for her. The doctors recommended that she be admitted to Women's Lunatic Asylum on Blackwell's Island.
Oh my God. Thank goodness.
That is her goal.
That is where she wants to go.
This is how I know the story.
Yeah. I was getting there.
Yeah, I got there. You know, the name Pink really threw me off.
No. I'm not there yet.
Once she arrived at the asylum, she immediately realized that it was not hard at all to be admitted there. Some women...
No, not for women.
Exactly. Some women were admitted because they could not speak English. Some were suffering from postpartum depression, among many other reasons that today would probably seem extremely outrageous. Once inside the asylum, she decided to just be her normal self and not act crazy at all. And she later says that the more normal she acted, the crazier she was treated. Daily life in the asylum was tough for her, not shockingly.
No.
She was forced into cold baths and claimed to have been freezing most of the time that she was there.
Hydrotherapy.
Not surprisingly, the food was also disgusting and moldy.
Ew.
And dirty water was served. Patients were often covered in their own waste with rats crawling on them. And she said most patients sat on hard benches all day, and some were even tied together. She later wrote in an article that the treatment that she witnessed could possibly be making patients even more insane. And honestly, she's not wrong.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like things that would not be very good for those with mental health
Exactly.
issues. Or actually those sane people who just had postpartum depression.
That was her
or
point.
couldn't speak English.
Yeah, your therapies are making things worse. 10 days after her arrival, the paper contacted the asylum and asked for her release. 2 weeks later, she published an article about her experience. And this caught everyone's attention, and people were outraged by the alleged mistreatment. A grand jury was convened, and Nellie joined them to help make a number of recommended changes to improve the broken system. After this, $1 million was added to the budget to assist with the changes, which is a lot of money, really, in today's time, but especially back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Right.
Nellie became a celebrity, and people praised her for her bravery and willingness to speak out on the issues that were considered taboo. In 1888, at 24 years old, Nellie decided she wanted to take a trip around the world. Only she was going to do it in less than 80 days, so she could beat the fictional character Phileas Fogg from Around the World in 80 Days. And of course, she was going to write about it, because that's what she did. Initially, her editors were hesitant because she was a woman, but this only added fuel to her fire. And she eventually talked them into letting her go. So she did. She went around the world in 72 days and had set a new world record. Nellie left the paper after they refused to give her a bonus after her 72-day world record. but came back 3 years later. She wrote more investigative articles focusing on corruption and mistreatment. In 1895, at 31 years old, she married 73-year-old millionaire manufacturer Robert Seaman.
Wow. No, we're going to skip past his last name.
I knew we couldn't. I knew we couldn't do it.
Because she's going to be Mrs. Seaman.
Maybe he was a man of the sea. Yeah.
Just like the seaman.
Yeah, seaman. He's a seaman.
Oh, okay, so it is spelled S-E-A.
Yes.
Okay, that's worse.
Right. Well, anyhow.
Obviously.
We had two different seamans on our mind.
Well, Robert, he died 10 years later in 1905.
Because he was 73.
Yes. After his death, she took over for his company, and 2 of her designs ended up being patented. A milk can and a garbage can. So Nellie is pretty cool.
Okay.
The company eventually failed, so she went back to writing, and by this time, women's suffrage movement was in full swing. Mm-hmm. She wrote about the marches and predicted that women would be given the right to vote in 1920, and she was right. 1922, Nellie died of pneumonia at 57 years old and is buried at Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx, New York.
Nice.
One of her most famous quotes that accurately sums up her life that I just really liked is, quote, "I said I could and I would, and I did." And
there.
And Nellie's a badass. And a fun fact about her, the character Lana Winters from American Horror Story Season 2 was inspired by Nellie Bly.
Okay.
That's actually kind of what set me down this road.
I figure that's where you heard of it.
She's been on my list for a while, and I kept skipping over it. Yeah. And then I just realized, oh, wait, I think that's supposed to be Lana. And it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Nellie's pretty cool.
Nellie is pretty cool. She was ahead of her time, for sure.
Yeah, I know the name. I did not know the history.
Well, now
that's
you
fascinating.
do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have been educated.
Yes. Educated.
Educated.
Not every word needs an E, I'm learning afterwards.
No, it sounded like you said titty.
It did.
Educated titties.
No.
Educate these titties.
Educate these nuts.
Did that really just happen?
Yeah. It cannot be stopped.
I have nothing to say to that.
No? What else would you educate?
I'm still stuck on that. Very much stuck on that. So many body parts were involved in the making of this episode. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to our Smorgasbord episode. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com with our socials linked from there, or send us an email at thetipsyghost@gmail.com. It really was a smorgasbord because there's so much
going on in this episode.
There's so much. I don't know what's going on.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. This deserves a great review. Okay?
Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in this week. We will catch you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.